Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Office Blood Daz.
I'm Gaynor.
Aidan.
Here we are, all three of us. America's shameful reality. 10 cities with the highest homeless population.
There really shouldn't be any homelessness in this day and age.
It's always going to happen, isn't it?
It's always going to happen, but I don't think it's a problem that just sits with the USA.
No, we've got a huge problem over here.
When we look at it over here, it's a massive issue over here at the moment. And when you travel different places around the world, you see a lot of homelessness wherever you go now, and it's becoming a bit of like a problem, a major problem.
Yeah.
But I've seen some of the cities. When we went to Philadelphia, we noticed it quite a lot, didn't we? In Philadelphia, it was a hell of a.
Same in New York.
Same in, well, you're going to kind of expect it in New York.
Oh yeah, because it's got so
it's
many
a mega
people.
city,
It's a big city, isn't
yeah.
it?
Well, Philadelphia's a big city, but I'm saying it's a mega city.
Yeah.
But you go around Manchester now, and it's just like one after the other, homeless.
The problem is as well is that they don't want to go into hostels.
A lot of them don't because they get
Attacked and
yeah, they have issues when they go into hostels a lot.
I tried to buy a homeless guy a hostel one time, and they said no.
Yeah. I passed a homeless guy the other day, didn't I? And he had his cup in his hand, and it was like...
Not like the homeless person didn't say that, the hostel said no.
Yeah, the hostel
really?
said no.
Yeah,
Oh,
the
really?
hostel said no homeless people.
Yeah.
really.
Yeah.
He went one more past me the other day, and he had his cup like that. It was like a squeeze through a gap, wasn't it? And I squeezed through, and he went like that with the cup. I went, go on then. Put my hand out. He actually went to give me some of his money, didn't he? So I give him money. Yeah.
Alright, let's get into this.
Ah, the United States, global superpower, the land of opportunity, and apparently the unofficial leader in real-life Monopoly, where if you don't pass go, you're likely setting up a tent on a sidewalk or under a bridge. Yep, while we're out there flexing our tech, wealth, and iconic skylines, there's another side of the story that's harder to Instagram: homelessness. Spoiler alert, it's not just a California thing. Today we're taking a brutally honest look at the top 10 US cities with the highest homeless populations. From billion-dollar tech hubs to cities where rent costs more than your last 5 car payments combined. We're diving into the places where the American dream has turned into a pretty dark nap. So buckle up, grab some coffee, and, $1 million if you're looking for real estate. And let's count down the cities, proving that anyone is just a missed paycheck or two away from living in a tent. Got it? Get it? Good. Let's take a look.
Yeah.
Number 10, San Francisco. From Golden Gate to Tent City. San Francisco is the city of cable cars, sourdough bread, and about 7,000 homeless individuals.
Wow.
With all the news that we hear about San Francisco and their homeless situation, I'm sure most of you thought they had like over 50,000 or 100,000, something like that. They don't have that much, but when you really look at San Francisco, it's not that big of a city. Sure, the whole metro area is pretty big, but the city itself really isn't that big. They only have about 800,000 residents. While tech billionaires sip lattes and plan trips to Mars, the city's painfully high cost of living ensures more people call the streets home than can afford an apartment by themselves. The average renter in San Francisco has 2.7 roommates, which is more than double the national average of 1.5. If you're looking for a paradox, San Francisco's got a homeless population of about 7,582 people. Now that's a mix of people living in their car, living on the streets, and in shelters. The estimated rate of homelessness is 9.3 for every 1,000 residents. The change in homeless from 2020 to 2024 is a decrease of 8.1%. And they're doing better. At one point, they were up around 9,000 people living on the streets. That was prior to the pandemic.
Sorry. Making sure I haven't switched everything off there. All right. Big crash. What I was saying there, a lot of people choose to be homeless.
What?
And yeah, a lot of people did sort of like say, I'm just going to go homeless. It's cheaper and they're living we saw a guy, didn't we, last week, where his choice was to live just off the grid, just the homeless, doing nothing. But what I don't understand about it is people have experienced this and might be able to tell us. I guess there's a lot of nighttime people. It's probably easy to get money in the evening times, in the night times when people have had a few beers or people coming out of restaurants and whatever it may be. Might be more sort of like people who might be willing to give like cash or a food donation or whatever it may be. But why are they always all asleep during the day? Homeless people,
what
they
else
sleep
are they
during the
gonna do?
day.
I think it's just
Well,
boredom, isn't it?
It could be boredom, but a lot of people just sit around and don't do anything. You know what I mean? They just lie there and just sort of like get in a sleeping bag and just lie there all day.
Yeah.
Whereas I'm one of them where you think, I think to myself, you've got to do something. You can't just ask for money.
Yeah.
You've got to do something. You know, and I think even if you're homeless, you could probably go and wash cars still in a car wash or try and jib in do something during the day to get cash.
Yeah.
And you will get something.
I say they can't get jobs because they've not got an address. And
Yeah,
it's
there's
like,
things like no bank accounts. I get all that. I understand all that. But don't do nothing. Don't just lie there all day expecting people just to give you money for free. Because it's not that's not how society works anymore, I don't think. But if you've experienced it, let me know why people are sleeping all the way through the day.
Yeah.
Number 9, Sacramento. Government hub, housing shrub. Yep, just down the road from San Francisco, you got Sacramento, the state capital of California, with over 9,000 homeless residents. California's capital is trying its best to rival its neighbors. Now, Sacramento may not have San Francisco's sky-high rents, but the lack of housing ensures that affordability is a myth in this city. I spent a day and a half in Sacramento back, I think it was around 2019, 2020. It was disgusting. Now, I was right around downtown because I was getting a train and it was extremely delayed. I mean, when you get there, if you're going to go up to Oregon, if you come across California Zephyr, it's already like an 18-hour wait. But we were so late, the connecting train went on without us. They tried to bus us up to Oregon. I was like, no, I'll just wait for the next train. Which gave me the opportunity to walk around downtown Sacramento and be completely horrified at the condition this city is in and the amount of homeless people that they have. They actually had a homeless camp mayor one time that was doing news conferences. You know, I always think maybe the lawmakers at the Capitol could spare a thought or two about the homeless between the sessions. The homeless population in Sacramento is 9,281. That's an estimated rate of around 17.6 for every 1,000 residents. The change in homelessness since 2020, when I was there last, to 2024, it's up 68%.
Wow.
Yeah, it was bad when I was there a few years back. It's worse. Number 8, Phoenix, Arizona. Desert dreams, housing nightmare. The Valley of the Sun is home to over 9,000 homeless.
So would you rather be like homeless in the boiling hot sun
I
or
was just
homeless
gonna-
in the snow?
I was just thinking the same. I think I'd rather be homeless in a hot country than in a cold country.
Or a cold area.
State.
Yeah, state in this case. I don't know actually. It's
that's what I meant.
a question.
It's a tough one that to go, really.
It is a tough one, but I think you try and go where economically you can survive, as opposed to rather than physically, if that
Yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah.
But it's got to be. I don't know. We're living on the streets and stuff. We've got an issue today. I was reading, watching Parliament today in the UK, and one of the politicians have asked the MPs, or the current MPs, for the numbers on prison releases that are living in hotels. So we've got migrants living in hotels who are waiting for asylum, and we've got prisoners that have now been released early, who've been put up in hotels, and no one knew about this. And they're trying to get the numbers together now, because then you've got veterans that are living on the street.
Yeah.
So you've got people who fought in wars for us who are
Yeah.
living on the street, and then people who commit crimes against us living in a 5-star hotel.
Hotel and being fed. Yeah.
It's kind of the
They
balance.
put them in 5-star ones.
Well, the one around the corner is 4-star, and that's full.
Yeah,
So it's,
that's crazy.
homeless people. Phoenix may be known for its cacti and picturesque hikes, but its housing shortage and rising rents have made it hard for low-income residents to afford anything other than sand. Add in the opioid epidemic, and you've got a crisis hotter than an Arizona summer. I really enjoy the air conditioning in just about any building when I visit Arizona, especially anywhere around spring or summer. I can't imagine how bad it would be to be homeless in like Phoenix. It's insane. But I guess people don't get to choose where they go homeless, right? I think Phoenix's biggest problem is over the last few decades, they've been growing faster than they can handle. I mean, they have only had one single-digit decade, and that was in 2010, then 11.2% in the 2020 census. Now, they're expected to grow about 25% at the 2030 census. At the rate they're growing and the rate they're building houses, it's going to be a bigger problem in the years to come because they're not building enough houses and people are still moving in there. The homeless population of Phoenix is about 9,642. It's estimated. Then the estimated rate of homelessness is 5.9 for every 1,000 residents. Change of homelessness between 2020 and 2024, it increased by 30%.
still too big.
Yeah.
It's all West Coast.
Number
Right, it's all West
7,
Coast.
Oakland, California. Gentrification with a side of tents. Oakland proudly hosts almost 10,000 homeless individuals. As soaring housing prices push out anyone that isn't a tech mogul, more people land on the streets. From million-dollar mansions to tent-lined sidewalks, Oakland showcases income disparity in its full glory. Bonus points for RVs parked outside of apartment complexes. How's that for a mobile solution? Now, this isn't our last stop in California. Oh no, we got a few more to go. But Oakland is one of the ones that's growing faster than just about any other city in California. One of the main problems is, as San Francisco got too expensive and crowded, more people started eyeing Oakland as a cheaper alternative. Well, of course, more people move in, prices go up, more people land on the streets. Now, don't put in the comment section that there's other reasons for it. We all know that the main causes of homelessness are addiction and mental health. We know that. We're just talking about the financial aspect of homelessness in this one. The homeless population of Oakland is 9,759. That is an estimated rate of homelessness of 22.7 for every 1,000 residents. The change in the homeless population from 2020 to 2024 is a 20% increase.
It's an ongoing problem there, then,
Yeah.
obviously.
What in blooming California?
Number 6, San Jose, California. Silicon Valley, sad reality. Home to almost 10,000 homeless individuals, the capital of Silicon Valley has billionaires galore, but apparently no room for teachers or service workers. With a median home price of over $1 million, San Jose proves that wealth doesn't trickle down. It evaporates before it hits the ground. You know, that ground that has a bunch of tents on it. Now, San Jose, over the last few years, has created some obstacles for people living on the ground. So things have gotten better in there, but it's still one of the worst in the nation. We did a video like this, I think 3-4 years ago. San Jose was number 1. And here they are at number 6. And yes, if this is your first time here, we've been making videos on this channel since 2017. Now, part of the reason San Jose has slowed down their homeless growth is a lot of the things that the incoming mayor of Portland has promised. More rules and regulations, like you can't set up camp on the sidewalk. I saw one official say that everyone needs help now and then, and the city should provide it. But when it gets to the point that they're counting on it to fund their lifestyle or whatever situation they're in, that's a problem. Another person said you have to be making progress to get off the streets to continue to collect some kind of support. There's 1,000,001 different theories and solutions that never seem to work, so we'll see. The homeless population of San Jose is 9,971. That's an estimated rate of homelessness of 10.2 for every 1,000 residents. The change in homelessness from 20 to 24 is only 3%. Yes, it's still increasing, but it is slowed down considerably.
Yeah, see, it answers a lot of our questions, what we were saying earlier on, and what causes it. But I guess, like you said, their addiction and circumstance, mental health maybe, that puts you out on the streets and stuff like that. It's probably, over here, I'm not sure what the percentage is for sort of like addiction to mental health, to people just not being able to... There's no houses over here as well. No. They've got the same problem we've got. They're just not building as many houses for the amount of people that are coming into the country or into the areas where they want to live. But it's the cost factor that goes in as well now. The economic side of it is massive, huge.
Number 5, Denver, Colorado. Mile-high homelessness. With over 10,000 homeless residents, Denver trades its stunning mountain views for a severe housing crisis. While tourists marvel at the Rockies, locals face skyrocketing rents and a housing deficit of nearly 70,000 units. Turns out the mile-high moniker applies to the home prices too, not just the elevation of the city. Now, before we get into...
Do you think a lot of this has come about with things like Verbo and Airbnb and stuff like that, whereas people are now renting houses out to tourists that are coming in, or businessmen who are paying less than a hotel room?
Yeah.
You can stay in like a 2-bedroom house with all different facilities for probably the same price you can pay in a hotel for a couple of nights. But and then them houses or them apartments not available to rent for people like in the hospitality industry, because there's just no houses available.
I guess so.
Because
It could also just be people who are buying houses to rent them out to make an income.
But no, they're not renting them to the people who live there, is what I'm saying.
No, yeah.
They're renting them on Airbnb or Verbo because they're getting more money.
Yeah, because it's so expensive.
The numbers, I will tell you one thing about Denver. Over the last year, 2024, they have seen a decrease in their homeless. Not by much, but they gained so much from 2020, 21, 22, and 23 that the slight decrease hasn't made up for what they gained. The homeless population in Denver is about 10,152. Now, these are all estimates because they don't have homeless people standing in line and counting them. Not like they show up for roll call every morning. The estimated rate of homelessness is 15.1 for every 1,000 residents. The change in the homelessness from 2020 to 2024 is an increase of 66%. So the fact that they're losing like 3% in 2024, it's a dent, but not much of one.
No. Oh, California. Massive problem.
Yeah.
Number 4, San Diego, Paradise Lost. San Diego boasts sun, surf, and over 10,000 homeless individuals. But beneath its postcard-perfect exterior lies a social crisis. Even as retirees flock to the beaches, many longtime residents are pushed out into tents by a soaring cost of living. Now,
I wonder if people who are already homeless are going to places like this because it's warmer. There seems to be...
I was thinking that, like, trying to start a new life in California type thing.
Yeah.
And they end up in these cities.
Yeah, I guess California's climate is pretty much all right all year round, isn't it?
Yeah, if you jump on a Greyhound from say New York and end up in a warm place.
What I did find a bit when we were in the USA with the homeless is when they were asking for things. A lot of people were asking to get to a different city.
Yeah.
They wanted, like
bus tickets or something.
Bus ticket or train ticket or whatever they were asking for. Someone was asking for a bus ticket, wasn't they? Or they need enough for a bus ticket to get some. I can't remember where they said they wanted to go, but one of them said to you, didn't they, about going up from Nashville to where did they want to go, like Boston or something, or Louisville, yeah. But it's,
she asked if I was driving, if I could take her. I was like, fucking, even if I was, mate, no chance. Driving 3 hours just down there, hop in the back.
I'm in that red car over there. Go and jump in, I'll be right back.
Yeah.
Do you want a drink?
You look at the rate, they're not as bad as, let's say, Los Angeles, San Francisco, or even Sacramento. The total number is what we're looking at in this video. Now, why didn't I do it by the rate instead of just the total number? Well, I've done that before, and if I do the rate, people ask me why I didn't just do the number. Kind of a damned if I do, damned if I don't type situation. The total number is just more friendlier and easier to accept. The homeless population in San Diego is about 10,264. Their estimated rate of homelessness is 7.4 for every 1,000 residents. And the change in homelessness from 20 to 24 is a 34% increase. Number 3, Seattle, Washington. Tech boom, social bust. The Emerald City sparkles with innovation and almost 15,000 homeless individuals. Despite Amazon, Microsoft, and Starbucks brewing profits here, affordable housing is about as elusive as a rain-free day. Even encampments like the Jungle offer a sense of community, a grim testament to the city's failure. And yeah, the city's got a lot going for it, and I love Seattle, but this is a major failure. And yes, I'm down in Portland, Oregon, and it's pretty bad there too. And I think both Seattle and Portland have failed at this point, and I think they just need to make some changes. Now, last time I was in Seattle, I walked around looking for the homeless situation. I was waiting for a cruise, and I had a half day to spend just walking around. And I did. I walked around, checked things out, and I couldn't find as many on the street as, let's say, you'd see in Portland, Oregon, or Los Angeles for that matter. Well, they still, for the most part, I should say compared to those other cities, are keeping it off the sidewalk and more under the bridges. Now, I'm not saying they're not filled with homeless. They are. I'm just saying it's not as obvious as here in Portland and other cities. The homeless population of Seattle is 14,449. The estimated rate of homelessness is 19 for every 1,000 residents. And the change in homelessness from 20 to 2024 is a 21% increase.
I thought it's going to be number one.
I thought number one.
Do you know, I think
Number
one's
2,
gonna be
Los Angeles. Lights,
Las
camera,
Vegas.
crisis. With over 70,000 homeless residents, Los Angeles has more drama than its film industry. Skid Row continues to epitomize the city's failure to address the homelessness, as shiny mansions in Beverly Hills cast a long shadow over the sprawling tent cities. Maybe someone should pitch a blockbuster about solving the mess, and they'll just pick up from there. Now, they do clean up areas, but then give it a month, and the area's back to the same situation. I take the train out of Los Angeles a lot. I love the train, if you don't know that already. And the train station in LA is really close to some of the biggest homeless camps they have. Well, it depends on the year that I've gone, but it's like sometimes there's hardly any, other times there's a whole bunch. It's weird. They just play whack-a-mole with them. Clear out a camp, go clear out another one. Well, 2 or 3 days later, the other one starts happening again that they just cleared up. What's crazy about this is we're at number 2. Number 3 was 14,000. Los Angeles has over 70,000 homeless residents. A lot of it is just people that can't afford things, obviously mental illness and drug problems. And then, of course, the migrants that come across the border, they end up without housing. So they have a ton, but their rate isn't really that bad. They're number 2 on this list.
Will work for food. That's what you want.
I just want someone to do something rather than just sit there and do nothing,
Yeah.
just asking for stuff. Get up and do something. You can do anything. You can walk around and pick up litter.
Yeah.
You can get a tin of paint and go, go something to clean the roads and let
Yeah.
the government sort of like, as long as you show, like you said before, if you show progress in your development, they're going to give you social help,
Yeah.
social assistance. But over here, you get it for free anyway.
Yeah.
For you can just arrive in the country and get paid and get housed, whereas they don't have that there.
No.
But it's one of them where you've got
It's
to
like
do
healthcare as well.
in
they
life.
don't
You've
get
got to do something. It's
healthcare.
good for your mental health as well. But I guess it's the drug addiction, which is the highest sort of like associated problem with it.
Yeah.
Do you reckon first has to be New York City, right? If there's 70,000 people there, I can only imagine one more city having more than that, with more people.
Based on that, you're probably right. Yeah, probably be New
But
York.
the percentage of like how many people actually live there probably won't be as high.
But I've been watching some documentaries on New York about migrants that have been being moved to New York from sort of like different areas that are coming up from the Central America or South America or different parts of Mexico and stuff.
Yeah.
And they've been moving them around different parts of the country, and I think New York got a massive influx from what I've seen on documentaries on here. Yeah.
For total number, but if you look at their rate, they're 10th in the nation for the largest cities. The homeless population of Los Angeles is 71,320. Again, that's an estimate because people don't line up and say they're homeless. The estimated rate of homelessness is 18.7 for every 1,000 residents, and the growth in homelessness from 2020 to 2024 is a 13% increase. All right, before we get to number one, if you have not subscribed to this channel, we would love it if you did. Also, we have new merch coming out, new t-shirts, so you might see a link for that down below. Don't forget to give the video a big thumbs up and leave a comment if you would. All right, on to number one.
New York, yeah.
And number one, New York City. Big Apple, bigger problems. The grand prize for the largest homeless population of almost 90,000 individuals goes to New York City. Despite its shelters and legal obligations to provide housing, the system is bursting at the seams. With an influx of immigrants and declining federal support, the Big Apple's starting to rot at its core. I did see a lot of homeless people when I was in New York last September and August. Not a lot of tents on the sidewalk or anything like that. They were doing it the old school way, where you pull out a piece of cardboard and sleep in a doorway or in an alley or something like that. And yes, I'm sure there are some. I didn't scour the entire city for a month looking for tents. I did see a bunch of homeless, and they were doing the old, I got a sleeping bag and I'm gonna sleep right here in this doorway until someone wakes me up at 5 a.m. New York is similar to San Francisco. The prices are too high, and besides, obviously, again, the mental problems and the addiction problems, a lot of people are ending up on the street because they just don't have the money to pay for an apartment. So why don't they go to a place that's more affordable? Well, if you got no money, hey, it's hard to get someplace else. Yeah. And let's say you move to a place that's more affordable, you may not have the different programs that are keeping you alive as you do in, let's say, New York City. The homeless population of New York City is 88,025 residents. The estimated rate of homelessness is 10.6 for every 1,000 residents, and the change in homelessness from 2020 to 2024 is a 13.7% increase. Wow. All right, there you have it. A list nobody wants to be on the top of. Now, as you watch this video, don't judge people that are homeless too harshly. A lot of them are dealing with problems, and a lot of them just had a run of bad luck. Not everyone's just milking the system, so keep them in your thoughts this holiday season. It's gonna be cold, and a lot of them are alone. I make these videos and I make jokes, and I have no ill will towards anyone that's living in that situation. I have no ill will towards anyone. I just have a different way of looking at the world.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's right. It's just, for me, it's a sad situation to see such homelessness across the world. It's not just the USA or just the UK or anything like what we see on a day-to-day basis. Well, not the USA on a day-to-day, but when you watch videos like that. But it's, I don't understand now that it's such a mega problem all of us. I don't think we've ever had so much homelessness across the world. What we've got in the last 2 or 3 years, I guess.
Because the price
pandemic, prices have always gone up. Inflation's always been there.
No, I know, but it seems like it's been a lot worse recently. Like I bought a pack of crisps and a drink and a thing of chocolate. It was like over £10. And I was like, this should be no more than £3.
Yeah, I know. I remember you used to get meal deals for £3. No, it's 28 quid now.
Like, stretch.
Yeah, but it's nice. It's like like I say, when you see it and you see all the global problems they have, but the money, what you mentioned it a few times there, the money isn't cascading down. No. It's not coming down to the lower levels. It's staying with the elite. Yeah. And it's I guess until that starts cascading and everyone gets a share of whatever they need to do, whether wages go up, more people. I guess I don't know, employment, jobs. Number of jobs gone down. Yeah. Tough on the call. Don't know what they're going to do about it. No idea. But there you go. Hope you guys enjoyed it as well. Don't forget to like and subscribe. See you on the next one. Cheers.
Bye.
Cheers.